Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to Live Market Analysis USA Edition. My name is Carl Keplinger. I'm the market analyst over here at ThinkMarkets, and it's a pleasure to be with you as we head stateside to pick up the pieces of our broken portfolios. Things have certainly been on a roller coaster ride recently. It wasn't that long ago, middle of July, we were hitting those bull market highs, and here we are all of a sudden substantially off those highs, and based upon last night's price action, looking like we could go lower. Big market risk event this weekend, Jackson Hole Symposium. We're going to have Federal Reserve Chairman Jerome Powell speaking tonight. I'll discuss some of these things and more as we get into today's presentation. But a little bit of housekeeping first. Over to you. It's today is less about me, it's more about you. Type in, if you're sitting there on the Zoom session, your requests into your Zoom window. If you're watching me in any of the streaming services, that is YouTube, LinkedIn, Facebook, or Twitter, you can get your request to me also. I'll give you my best technical and fundamental reader. Let's head over firstly to the charts here, and I have the first request that's come through via Twitter. This one is for French NZ, a great looking chart. I'm sure it's one we've actually looked at before. I'm just going to head over here and head over here. There you go. I was expecting to see a bunch of plus 1/3 on it. If it's the first time you're listening to me, plus 1/3 means it's another word for buying. But I don't like to get in all at once, and I don't like to get out all at once. So let's say, for example, just purely hypothetical, I ordinarily invest $1,000 into a company. Okay, I divide that into 3 lots, and then when I see my first buy signal, I'll add a third. If I see another buy signal, I'll add a third, and then I'll keep going. In fact, I don't actually stop at 1,000, if you get what I mean. As long as I continue to see buy signals, I can continue to add. If I start to see sell signals, I'll start to knock off a third of what I have in the system. Now, what I want to do, and I'll do this quite often, is try and just highlight or show you where I would ordinarily like to buy something. And for me, that candle is very, very impressive. That little upper shadow might have just kept me out though. And look, part of this is going to be analysis, part of this will be a little bit case study. And we can see here, this is super interesting, isn't it, Curtiss-Wright? So look at that, look at the supply that we were expecting to come in at that level. If you know basic technical analysis 101, you know about resistance. It's probably what you've heard of it described as. I don't call it resistance. I think resistance is a silly word. What is resistance anyway? I mean, if you're going up, that might be resistance. But if you're going down, what is resistance? Resistance to going down, well, that's called support. So I think they're flippant terms. I like this idea of point of supply, and I like this idea of point of demand, because I don't think you can screw that up, all right? And more specifically, that's actually incorrect when you think about it, because there's supply everywhere. There's always supply and there's always demand for any asset, right, at the right price. So this is what we call a point of excess supply, but let's just make it simple, point of supply. And this is a point of excess demand. Let's make it simple, point of demand, all right? So work on that basis. You can see that past points of supply tend to act as future points of supply until they don't. And this is a great candle. It's a great example of a candle where it kind of is, but it mostly isn't. And the question I'm kind of putting to you is this candle good enough to buy it? In fact, you really, if you were very brave, you had a couple of opportunities in here and even here to buy it, because I think each of these candles, each of these white candles are telling you that this point of supply is not as significant as it once was. And this is a great thing about points of supply, is once you sort of hit them a few times, you do diminish the supply there, and it makes it easy to get through. I wonder if you would have bought on that candle. I don't know. I'm not here to tell you what you would have done. I think that looks pretty good. I think that candle there, we're closing above. I love the little high close. So for me, I reckon that's my first plus 1/3. What do you think? What do you think? I think that's where we go plus 1/3. I know this is all historical. It means nothing. But for people that know me, you know that I meant to go in one at a time. That didn't happen. But let's just draw in the rest of those. You know that I do this stuff every week. And you know that if you asked me about it on that day, you know exactly what I would have said, because I'm 100% consistent. I wonder on that day, I still think that's good enough. I think the trend is so good there that you could have easily done it. This day, bit of an upper shadow, bit of $200 maybe coming into it. Maybe not on that day, just with the $200 there. On that day, a little bit of an upper shadow. They're all pretty good. I mean, if you did that, I wouldn't complain too much. I wouldn't complain too much. I wouldn't even complain if you did it here, to be honest. And I wouldn't complain if you did it here. Maybe not with that black candle. Maybe I'm just going to refrain. given that it's now a little bit more prone to probably revert to the mean. This candle, I'm not sure is good enough to do it. Just the upper shadow, just like high closes. And then we're coming in, making a little lower point of supply, getting us to the analysis that we can do now. So this is where we're at. What do we do? And let's say hypothetically, I had done all of those. Not sure if you would, but I had done all of those. I'd have, and let's say I did 2 shares each time. So I went +2 each time. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 twos are 14. Last time I checked, I've got 14 shares of Curtiss-Wright. I don't think I need to do any divisions here because I don't think this is a sell in itself. I know we've got lower points of supply. Lower points of supply indicate that there is building supply in the market. At the same time, demand isn't as robust as it once was, and that's concerning. But I don't think this is an exit just yet. I think if you're jumping at this shadow, you're overly conservative. Now, we do need, therefore, a place where we are going to jump at the shadow. And I love the fact this also aligns with 200, okay? So I think on a close beneath this, and this one's for French NZ, and I think French NZ already knows what I'm going to say on this. That's where you do it. That needs to become that. No, that needs to become that. So close less than the red arrow means -1/3 for me. Now, I could go a third before that if I saw a really, really nasty candle before I got to the point of demand, reinforcing, just confirming that supply is quite active in the market right now. So something that looked like that, but it would be bad enough that, I was going to say bad enough that you could almost just wait for the close beneath that. But no, I think, look, that this gives you another opportunity to do. If you saw that candle, then you would go the -1/3 prior, so that you would have 2/3 out on a close beneath here, and that would leave you with 1/3 remaining. But until then, and this is where I'm at right now, I think we are at a full risk position on Curtiss-Wright. That's my feeling on this one. So I've talked about if you've got it. I'm assuming French NZ does. Let's talk about if you don't have it. Would I buy it here? Well, pretend you can't see the last little bit I drew there and just look at the candle that we have. No, I don't think we're buying. I don't think we're buying it today because we have that building supply. We don't have the right candle. So I'm not a buyer. I'm not a seller just yet, but I've shown you how I would sell. And therefore I'm a holder. Curtiss-Wright. Let us keep moving then. The next one is EHC. Hopefully that gives you a bit of an idea of how we do it here in live market analysis. Very similar on this one. Encompass Health was looking very good. I won't go back through all of the where I would have bought it in the past, but I think we all agree that's a nice candle. That's a nice candle. I think that's a nice candle. I think that's a nice candle. Notice it was down after that pretty quickly. I don't think it would have done that one on the severity of that big black candle, so I'm going to pass on that one. No, I can't do that one. Upper shadow. That's a nice candle there. Happy with that one and happy with that one. Okay, and some of you are going, oh, wait a second. If you bought there, you'd be losing money right now. Yep, absolutely. I'm just telling you where my eye says +1/3. Okay. After that, anything can happen. I have no idea what's going to happen next. I wouldn't have a bloody clue, and nor do I care. It's going to happen. It's fated to happen. So why stress yourself about it? Just follow the model. In a bull market, stuff will go up, and it will be easy. In a bear market, stuff will go down, and that'll be easy too. Some people go, oh no, bear markets are hard. No, bear markets are bloody easy. Everything's going down. Just get short. When markets start to go choppy, like they are right now, when you get absolutely wild candles that honestly, I mean, please, when you get candles like that, look at the volume. There's no volume on that one. It's just summertime, market malaise, stuff, high volatility, low volume. Get the hell out. When markets get choppy, trend traders like me get chopped up. So it shouldn't be a surprise that we're going to see, oh yeah, I would have got there, and then boom, it goes straight down again. That is a function of what is happening right now. Now let's go back to HC, and I'll just quickly do this analysis here for French NZ. I'll get to everybody else's stuff. POS. Is this a POS? No, I don't think it's not an official one, but I'm going to call it a POS anyway, because this candle in itself is a POS. There's no doubt about it. And then we do the same stuff. It's just model stuff. If I'm anything, ladies and gentlemen, hopefully you agree I am consistent, and consistency is the key to good trading, because it helps you understand if what you're doing is worth it or not. If you consistently do something wrong, there's value in that, because you can go, every time I did that, I lost money. Ergo, I need to stop doing that and I should stop losing money. Close less than that, minus 1/3. Is last night's signal enough to do a third beforehand? Yeah, look, actually, I think it is. So I'm going to go minus 1/3 there. That's a second. At the moment, you've got, so that leaves you with plus 2/3 remaining on this one. I can't buy it for obvious reasons, and that's what I would do if I was holding it. There you go. And hopefully it's starting to gel for many people that this is just a model. I'm not saying it's the best model in the world. It's just the one I use. If you don't like it, go find something that appeals to you more. Okay, Teva Pharmaceuticals. I'm going to use this. I'm going to do this on the basis that I'm assuming French NZ is in it. I don't like the supply up here. It's pretty clear, isn't it? I mean, it's quite palpable that we've got some. Oh, they're $10. Surprise, surprise, round number. Look, again, it's a hold, but it's a tenuous hold, and clearly the big point of demand is here. That's the one we need to be worried about, and therefore close less than that is minus 1/3. Do these two shadows, all of these, constitute a third before that? Probably not. And I think it's okay, but again, I'm going to draw in that big black candle and tell you that if you saw one before that, you could go the third in advance of the break. Sorry, close beneath. Not just breaks. I don't like just breaks. I want to see close beneath. And that is dangerous sometimes because it can close a long way beneath before you are then able to act. But I think that's where we're going with that. So another big black candle, minus 1/3, close beneath the pod, minus 1/3. And then you would see how you go with the rest, or if you couldn't be bothered, you could get out the whole lot. Until then, I can go hold on that one. And that's it for French NZ. I'm going to do Perry. I've got some streamers. I've got Marie here, which looks like a spammer. Thanks, Marie. And Marco is not a spammer. NVTS. Navitas Semiconductor. Okay. What did we do last time we talked about this? We said nice big white candle, plus 1/3. Yeah, I think this is my plus 1/3 here. Were there places to get out? I think there were places to get out through here. So let's go through here. I think you had some problems. So that black candle confirms that shadow. I'm just telling you what I would do. You can do whatever you want to do, but I'm just saying if you want to tune your eye into what I'm seeing, if you think that's a good idea, that would be it. Oh God, would I have gone there? I mean, it would have to be the best chart in the world. Yeah, look, I don't mind. Yeah, I just think I would have gone. This is all a bit ho-hum on that day. Did you zoom out? Would this have been the best setup on that day? I doubt it. But in theory, that would be plus 1/3. And then it all unravels from there and you're kind of a minus 1/3 here. But there's plenty of places to be out. That candle in itself, that candle in itself. We're getting a bit of a picture here. Yeah, I can't buy this for obvious reasons. The question is just how little risk do you still have left on this? That would be the only question I have for you. And then if you are in a position where you chose not to, for whatever reason, to get out following the model, but then for you, then the last point where you can really hold it is close beneath that long-term trend zone, because beneath that, it's in big trouble. So not a buy for me, unfortunately, Marco. Wish I had better news for you. Let's head to Perry now. Perry's always got some good stocks for us. NR, which is not that one. It's coming in a second. And we're going to go to not that one, NRG. That's okay. There we go. I was just going to say, it's just the way Amy Broker does things. This looks great. Great looking chart. If you are of the opinion that you want to have some risk in the market, it looks very good. This is 3 years ago now. This is pre-pandemic, is it? No, just post-pandemic. There's a little bit of supply potentially in there. It's a long time ago. If this was the best setup I could find on the day, would that bother me? I wonder if it will be the best setup on the day, given that supply is up there. Yeah, I'm okay with this. I think the trend is up, so this is stuff we haven't talked about yet. Obviously, that needs to be up. That needs to be up. The price action, preferably, is high peaks and high troughs. It's just coming out of a little bit of a compression phase, so it won't always be as clean, but it is. It is certainly still high peaks and high troughs. Yesterday's candle was great. Last night's candle was good on a down day. I think, look, I don't see why not. I can't I'm trying to find a reason not to do it, and I can't. So apart from the fact that do we really want to have all that much risk in the market at the moment? But purely just based upon a setup, if we're in a rampaging bull market, that would be plus 1/3 for me. I don't think you'd have any problems with that. Let us head over here because it gives me the chance to discuss the valuation side of things. That's the technical side of things. Why didn't I look at the valuation on any other company up to this point? Because I'm not considering to buy it. Why am I going to waste my time looking at the valuation of a company I'm not even going to buy? So charts first for me, valuation second, and valuation for me ends up being a bit of a look. Is there a red flag against following the chart? Look, I've got NVIDIA on screen, so let's do NVIDIA, and we'll double back. We'll look at the chart just after we do the fundamentals for NR. But this one is just all over the news at the moment, isn't it? Had that big pop on its earnings, was up about 6%. Didn't see what it did last night. Just very busy with obviously earnings season, local earnings season. Okay, so last night I'll show you the chart. Oops, that's not where we're going. Let's go here. So that is a big wipeout last night. So gapped up to 500. Oh my gosh, big round number or what? First time it's ever been there. So that for me is a compulsory minus 1/3 just for the 500. So bang out 1/3. But Carl, it's NVIDIA. No, I don't care. Bang out 1/3. And then on the candle, you could almost bang out another third. But because it is NVIDIA, I'll give it the respect and say that you are plus 2/3 remaining on this one as your best case scenario. You could even bang out a third on that candle potentially, but let's say 2/3 remaining on that one. Otherwise, it looks very good. Short-term trend up, long-term trend up, price action is good, and just taking precaution on that. I think if you saw another big black candle on this one, so similar to last night, there's every chance you get one tonight, there's every chance you don't, but something like that, then for me, and this is just what I would do, you can do anything you want to do. Of course, there's no law that says you need to do what I'm doing. God, it's all going to pieces here at the moment. That's what I wanted to draw, and this is the complexity. Sometimes trying to draw stuff, click off it, and then go to red, and then go here, and that would be a minus 1/3 for me, if that were to occur. Okay, and then you'd only have 1/3 remaining to see where the long-term trend goes. But let me head back here and just quickly to talk about the NVIDIA company valuation. Now, this data comes to you from Thomson Reuters, who have a product called Refinitiv Icon. And Refinitiv is another one of Thomson Reuters brands. It's a data provider. Icon is the model, I guess, of what they're offering. And they go and survey all the big brokers they can find, big research houses, and try and get an idea of what the consensus estimates are for those brokers. And in this case, we've got 43 big brokers and research houses covering NVIDIA. Obviously, it's widely covered. And they say, hey, big broker, what's your revenue estimate for 2024, 25, 26, 27? And then we've got stuff that's in the bag, stuff that's already happened. So we've got a consensus and we've got a historical. And from that, we can start to figure out, for example, a compound annual growth rate over the forward-looking period. I typically go, 3 or 4 years ahead, just for relevance. And they will give us a price target, and they will give us their rating. So if we look at their price target as well, $618, so 31% upside, which is honestly mind-blowing for me that the brokers are that bullish. Just on the basis that it has already run, and typically brokers tend to trail the share price up. So we tend to find that broker estimates are a bit lower, and as the share price goes up, they raise their estimates, sometimes because they do think there's more value there, but often because they don't want to be the broker that's trailing the current price. So that actually surprised me that they're actually that far ahead of the curve. We did have earnings, so we would have had some of these updates already starting to come through. 31% upside. Their rating, 16 strong buys. You don't want to be the broker that calls a sell on NVIDIA, do you? You don't want to be. 31 buys, 3 holds, and who is that lone person, lone wolf, calling NVIDIA a sell? How dare you? But, overwhelmingly, polarizingly positive. The next place that goes to EPS line, I want to see bottom left, top right growth. I just want to see a company that can grow its earnings through thick and thin. And we've had plenty of stuff to deal with over the last few years, pandemic, supply chain shortages, rates going up. It's not quite, to be honest. There's some lumpy, bumpy bits there. The semiconductor industry's had all sorts of problems over the last few years. But we are going to see a massive, massive return to growth here. And some of that is somewhat forecast because January 2024 is the end of financial year for NVIDIA, and some of it is obviously in the bag because we've had a few quarterly updates already contributing to that. But looking forward, the growth is going to be there, and it's going to be astronomical growth. It says 61% compound annual, but that includes this FY24, which we're much of the way through. Then we get to my valuation metrics down here. So everything else is Thomson Reuters Refinitiv Vicon, and this bit here is mine, okay? And I won't tell you how the special source works, but it is based upon discounting cash flows back and using some of this broker consensus numbers as parameters, as yardsticks as well. My spreadsheet not dissimilar to the spreadsheet that Goldman Sachs will have, Bank of America, Citigroup, UBS. Look, their spreadsheet's probably way fancier than mine, but ultimately mine mine often gets to their same target. So what we have here is using the median PE of the brokers going forward. So I don't like to use historical PEs. I like to use forward-looking PEs. I think if you're only, doing fundamental analysis by looking at historical data, you're driving the car using the rear vision mirror only. So that's what I use as a target PE, and I can change this. And the target PE is largely what impacts this final valuation. So I'm saying my fair value for NVIDIA is only 420, but that's if you use that PE. What's an appropriate PE? We need to figure that out. And then I can change the risk level, which change the discount rate as well. We talked about that in previous weeks. And the right PE is going to be a mix of, well, it's just guesswork, and that's what fundamental analysis is, ladies and gentlemen. It is pure guesswork. Anybody tells you otherwise is using their imagination. How else can you come up with any of this stuff if you don't guess it? Oh no, but I forecast, mate, that's a guess. Okay, so a few issues with this, I think. Is 26 the right PE? I think it's very low versus its historical range. Like, it's crazy, crazy low. I think it's low relative to what we're expecting for the current. Well, the current year is there, but this is mostly done, right? So I think it's a very sensible hurdle rate. The only problem I see with this valuation is this 215, which is bumping up this 61. Okay, so when I see that, what I like to do is just flick this out 1 year, and the spreadsheet takes account of everything, time, value, money, and everything. But the reason why I want to do that is to just get a more reasonable compound annual growth rate, because it's not this. This is mostly in the bag, if you get what I mean. So we're going to go here, and I think that's still a great rate. The PE is changing, obviously, because we're taking that out. And I think that is overly, I think 25 for 29%. The average market growth is about 8, 9% in a good year. The average market PEs in the US is about 20. So you're getting 3.5 times the market's rate of growth for not much more than the market's PE as a target. So I think this is too cheap. I think this can go up. What could it go up to? I think it could easily go to 30. I think it could easily go to 40. And we're starting to see now why these brokers are up there with their price targets. So what I can do is I can change this to a target, and let's just keep it conservative. Let's just go 30 and see what it does. Okay, and I'm not telling you what the right PE is for this, because that is the personal preference. In all of this, your target PE is up to you. It's what you can tolerate for the metrics you can see on screen, and it's a very personal thing. You've heard me say in the past, I cap out at 40. That's where I tap out of stuff. I'm not sure if 40's is right for that. I think 40's too high. But look, I'm going to go. I'll just show you, because I'm not here to tell you what's right. I'll say at 30. My valuation, 538. If you were to go to something like a 35, we're starting to probably go past where the brokers are. And if we try and find where the brokers are, we can see that they're at about 32. Okay. Is 32 a reasonable valuation, a PE target for NVIDIA? I think it is. So I don't think the brokers are completely out of whack with theirs. If I just go to my default and just leave it at default, it's saying that we're at roughly fair value. But the key point here is I can't see anything so sinister in this to tell me that I can't follow the chart. And that's where I'm trying to get to. Now, I'm not going to spend that much time on everything else I'm going to do today, but I just want to give you an insight into how I do my analysis, okay? And we'll pick up the pace. We'll get to everybody's suggestions today. There's no doubt about that. Let's get on to, actually, I need to head back there because we're going to do NR for pairing, because that's one we said, look, all things considered, if you wanted to take some risk tonight, I'm not sure I do, but we could buy this one. Newpark Resources, no broker coverage, makes it very easy for me because I can't give you a valuation without broker coverage. Oh, Carl, why don't you come up with all those consensus estimates? Nah, I couldn't be bothered. Honestly, I've got so many better things to do with my life than trying to figure out what these companies are going to do. I couldn't be bothered. That's why I use those broker consensus, because they get paid to do all that. And they get paid very well because they're very smart and they can do it very well. So no, pass for me. Sorry, Perry, I can't give you a valuation on that, but you heard my technical view on it. Technical analysis at the end of the day summarizes all that fundamental mumbo jumbo. Okay, let's go to the next one. I can never type these in right. LWAY. I'm still not getting it right. LWAY. Okay, Lifeway Foods. I hope it's one you're on, Perry. I do. I really do. And I reckon, where do you reckon you'd buy it? I reckon either of these candles here, that one there's very good. Even this one's still good for adding plus 1/3. I still think you're carrying your 2/3 here. I couldn't buy it anywhere before that. Hopefully you agree. Even down here, I think it's probably a bit iffy. Would it have been the best thing you've seen on that day? I doubt you could put your hand on your heart and say that's where you would have bought it. I don't think so. But certainly once it starts to really challenge, pop up and challenge, and look at the volume. We talked about low volume. This huge volume, huge supply removals, huge interest in this stock. Big change in the underlying fundamentals. That's the buy day for me. I could add some there. And I can't see any reason why you'd be selling this. I know some people would say, hey, Carl, it was, $6 now, it's $11, it's nearly doubled. That means it's expensive. No, that's just a really silly way of thinking about the market. What I would be concerned about is big areas of supply from the past. There's one there. And there's another sort of, it's more than just one. There's a couple there. So look, I think I'm going to go minus 1/3 just on that basis. A little bit of an upper shadow. I know this is being too pedantic. No, I'm not going to go minus 1/3. I'm going to say let the supply manifest itself first. And a black candle, any black candle would do. Oh, but Carl, I'll give up some profit. Okay, well, if you don't like that, then take some off the table. That's up to you. You do what you got to do. But I think any black candle is a minus 1/3 for me. And then how about that? And that's all it is. Oh, but Carl, shouldn't you just take all your profits at that stage? I don't know. You can do whatever you want to do. I'm minus 1/3 up there. That would leave me 2/3 remaining. And I'm happy to see how the rest goes. If the signals get worse, if the candles and the price action telling me there's a lot more supply or excess supply in the system coming in, then I'll progressively get out. But I want to give myself every opportunity to still have some skin in the game if and when this thing hits $15 or $20. Okay. So happy with that. Can I buy it? No, I can't buy it because it's too far away from my light green zone and the candles aren't right just yet. That last candle has big upper shadow. ORN is the next one. This is one that I could have bought if you gave it to me on yesterday's candle, Perry. I think it looked amazing. That is the compulsory buy there. Even the candle before it looked very good because it's just doing all the stuff we want to see in a turnaround play. What does that mean? The short-term trend to turn up. Price action, before that certainly had gone higher peaks, higher troughs, but you got this pullback here, and we're just coming back to the short-term trend zone. We're looking for the next resumption of excess demand. Long-term trend had turned, it turned all the way back here. That's probably your first buy right there. There's your second buy. There's your third buy. Okay, maybe you might have got out a little bit of that, taken a little bit of profit through here, and then got back in here. Where's the big point of supply? Up here. Last night's shadow is enough to not allow me to buy it tonight, but if you've got it, it's an absolute hold. I can't see any reason why you would sell any of it, but just on that upper shadow, I'm probably just a pass on the buy and just retaining the risk I have. It's not screaming to me that I need to increase my risk on this stock at this point in time. Perry also asked for NVidia, which we have done. Chris has got PARR, which looks very, very good. PAR Pacific Holdings. Let me just go back to my default zoom here. Looks great. I'm just going to, it's blue sky. Okay, so this is very, very good. Clean candles. Look at that. Just clean candles. very little overlap in the candles. The market knows what it wants to do here. The more overlap you get in the candles, the more indecision there is. When you're revisiting the price action from yesterday, that just is the epitome of indecision. Where you don't revisit the price action from yesterday and you get these what I call clean candles and the white candles as well, the lower shadows. This is what you have to focus on, ladies and gentlemen. This is where you want to be. And when you see it, you've got something really special here. Do I need to draw all of my look? I think it's here. Oh, that's a nice one, because see how you got white. So what I'm talking about, I'm just trying to find, and again, tune your eye to where you can do this sort of stuff. White, inside, white. That's very early, but it is a bit of a specky one there. That's a very early one. Plus 1/3 there. That's very interesting. Any of those are fine. But let's go to where the trend's a little bit more advanced. That is a cracker. That one, a little bit of shadow there. That one's very good. That one there. Even that one. Definitely that one. These are all plus 1/3 for me. What do I have done? This one. I don't like this big black candle, so I probably wouldn't have done that, just on the basis that this candle disturbs me. I want to see a little bit more confirmation after this white candle, and I'm getting it here. I think this is a really good candle, and last night in an awful market, and that means, of course, that this stock has to be outperforming the broader market. I think this is very good. I'm a little bit concerned about this, and if it was a better market overall, I would say just go for it. Like, who cares about this supply? There's some supply here, but if the market was better, I'd say it's so relevant, because the market, overall market sentiment will get through that. The question is whether you would do it tonight or not. I'm very close. Let's look. And this is all we're coming down to. It's a third of what you would normally risk on a position. I would love a higher close. To be honest with you, my money, I'm probably just going to refrain. And I'm going to say, you know what? It's okay. If I have to pay a bit more and get closer to that point of supply and be more certain about it and not get a little shadow on a candle, but get a great close right on the high, that's the candle I'm looking for. So I have to do this dance in these sessions between sort of saying, well, they're all white candles, everything ticks the boxes, therefore it's plus 1/3. And what would I do? Look, honestly, what I would do is wait. I just wait for just any one more candle that looks like this. That's all I'm waiting for. So this is it's not really a no, is it? It's just a no for tonight. And I'm happy to pay a little bit more just to get that certainty and that nice close near the point of supply to tell me that the supply at that level, the potential supply at that level, the latent supply at that level actually isn't a problem, because the close of the session will tell you if it is or not. So I'm going to go, look, absolutely hold, no brainer for a hold, but I'm just going to hold back from going plus 1/3 on that one tonight. But let's have a quick look over here at the company valuation, because it's one we are considering buying in the not too distant future potentially. So let's go PARR and we'll see what we can see. I'm not saying we're going to get broker coverage. We've got 4 brokers. We can see we can only go out to FY25, so not a lot of data there for it. And you have to always consider that you are well, we don't have any. It's still retrieving. There we go. FY22. Minus, see, there you go. Are there red? There are some red flags here in terms of broker estimates. They're not great. They're expecting substantial decline. There are only 4 brokers, but hey, they've done the research. I haven't, despite the fact that I can't give you a valuation because we've got a negative compound annual growth rate. Well, there you go. With no growth rate, I can't give you a valuation. Well, that's actually not true. I can. So what's not working here? Maybe it was that minus that negative earnings was probably ruining things there. So if we get back to where the starting point is positive, I have to go look into why that wasn't giving me a number. I thought it might have. Let's get rid of that. And yeah, it's just not going to meet my criteria with such a huge expected contraction in earnings. That is the weirdest. You have to agree. Of all the companies we've ever looked at, ladies and gentlemen, that's the weirdest one we've ever seen in terms of the fundamentals versus the technicals. Is it a red flag? You know me. Okay, let's keep moving. TIPT, which is Tiptree. This looks really good. I really like this. I'm not even going to do the analysis on it. Yeah, this is plus 1/3 for me. Jackson Hole be damned, Jerome Powell be damned. And I know there is just this point of supply here, but I just think we're so well placed, we're so well geared with all of these candles. That lower shadow there's a cracker. Last night's performance very, very good, closing just near the highs as well. There's little supply here, but it's not an issue, and I don't think that's going to be an issue either. This is a plus 1/3 for me. Tiptree, I wouldn't have a clue what they do. And nor do I care. I'd happily invest in this without knowing what they do. In fact, I prefer not to know what they do, if you get what I mean. Oh, but Carl, shouldn't you do the research and really know what everything about what a company does? No broker coverage, even better. Nothing to get in the way of me buying this one tonight. That's the best thing I've seen all day. Thanks, Chris. RAMP. Good. Just that last candle, I can't buy it, but definitely a happy holder. And so this one, Chris is saying he actually owns. But happy holder there. Look, last candle's not great, is it? It's disappointing, but not a reason to sell just yet, I think. And, obviously somewhere beneath here, you would have to take some precautions. If you've got a confirmation of that candle, so you've got another black candle that was very similar to that, really confirming that we have lower points of supply, you could be really jittery and manage your risk there. And that's all it's about. We'll get back in. If it's the one, it's going to start going back up again. We're going to get back into it. So, Carl, that's cost me brokerage. Okay, well, you can trade with us commission free. Okay, so that sorts out that problem. But close beneath there was minus 1/3. If you've got another big black candle, you could go minus 1/3. But I'm being really sort of vicious on some of these because of the broader market risk level, I think. Just trying to pull risk out of the market and give you an idea how to do it methodically. So this candle is again, that's an engulfing candle. It's engulfed the whole range, I think, of the previous candle. It is also confirming this lower point of supply here. So we're going to go POS. And obviously, beneath there, it's closed minus 1/3. But would I do it on this? Again, it's being a little pedantic. And if you are that nervous, I think you can. Just the severity of that candle. It's much bigger than the last one we saw. It was only tiny in the last one. But that has actually engulfed the previous candle. Maybe it's being a little bit pedantic, but I do think you are sort of just pulling back on risk on this with a view to, if it starts to push back up through 205, I'm going to add back in. But for now, why am I going to be stuck here holding the bag if the what does hit the fan globally? Okay, let's get to some of the streamers. Thank you for being so patient. David has got S32, which is an Australian company. David, we're doing US stocks. So come back on Tuesday and we'll look at S32. OSIS, which is from Aussie Ultra. Oh, look at that. Pop. How does that even happen when you have that huge black candle everywhere else? It just speaks to the quality of whatever they announced. I can't buy it tonight, but just because of that upper shadow. But I tell you what, if this closed on the high, I would buy it. There's just this inkling of excess. Let's do that. Excess supply in the system, and for me to buy something that's popped like that, I just need to see a totally convincing move from the market. So that close on the high, when you think about it, if you get a candle, not like that one, but if you got a candle like this one. It's going to change in a second. But if you get this candle here, this is the candle you want to see to be able to buy, to facilitate a buy after such a gap, right? So let's draw it similar size. Because it's telling you that despite the gap, despite the big pop up in prices where most human brains go, I can't buy that now, it's gone up too much. That's not how the market works. Fund managers know that this was a good announcement. But if it closes on the high, there was no supply. Think about here, there's an inkling of supply, but then if you go here, there's just no. Let's just go zero. Zero excess supply. So as much as it went up, and just think about how tempted you are, right? Something gaps up from 120 to 140, you dial into your broking platform, you log in, you see this thing, you thought it would be up $10, it's now up $500 or something. And the first thing you want to do is hit that sell button, yes or no, right? You just want to get the hell out of that, lock that in, thank you to the maker, and I'm never going to trade that thing again because I don't want to ruin my 100% track record. Nobody felt, well, I can't say nobody felt like that, but by the end of the day, it just wasn't happening. People weren't looking at this as something they needed to sell. They were looking at this as something they just had to hold on to. They had to hold on to it. And of course, all that demand was coming in and everybody wanted to own it. So that's why I can't buy this one based upon that last candle. But it's amazing. If I had it, I would hold it. The last candle is nowhere near bad enough to tell me to want to sell that one. Let's keep going. That one was for Aussie Ultra. Thanks, Aussie Ultra. And Rapam's got NVIDIA, which we've done. Rapam, if you missed it, catch the recording. Marco saying got out at 996 on NVTS. Is that good or bad, NVTS? Okay, yeah, he's taken some profit off the table. We've taken some risk off the table, which is reassuring. Thanks for updating me on that one, Marco. Anthony is now saying that, hi, Carl, can I please have your thoughts on Cabaletta Bio, CABA? That's very quite promising there, Anthony. Let's have a look. Let's zoom out a little bit. And you can see, remember I talked about clean candles? This is not clean candles. Now it's compressing. It's compressing the range. There's indecision. Is it something I want to own? Is it something I want to take profit on? It's had a good run, won less than $1 back in October. We're seeing a bit of distribution in the market. So there's definitely some supply, active supply. Look at those black candles. But at the same time, there's demand saying, you know what? I'm not fussed by it going from 1 to 12. I think this is going from 12 to 20. So that there's this churning over of the profit takers from it going up so fast to the people probably doing the research saying there's more in this. I just want to have a look at what else is to come, what's out there in the corner of our eye that could create some problems here in terms of supply, historical supply. And that's not that long ago. That's back in sort of late 2020. This is starting to get a little bit old. Start of 2020. This one certainly is one we're dealing with now. So if you say, okay, well, you can kind of understand now why well, there you go. You can understand why we're compressing at that level. There's a bit of uncertainty. There's people who have held it for that long are finally getting their ability to break even. So there's nothing surprising about the fact that it is compressing around there. And that's a good thing. That's a good thing. If it was compressing there for no reason, I'd be more concerned. Look, I think it's very warm. Let me say, it's a very warm one. I don't know if it's hot. What could make it hotter? Actually, it's pretty simple. It's pretty simple. I just want to see just one of those. Just let me see one of those. Maybe it's one you do wait for a breakout of first, just for the extra confidence it'll give you that you have eclipse. That's a big supply zone. And if you just maybe wait for the close above, at least you've got that. Look, we're through that supply. The supply is no longer in the market. But from there, it's going to look very good. I mean, from that, I would certainly buy this one. Until then, it's just a sort of a wait and watch and see. All right, let's head back to the Zoomers. Actually, make sure I have to do all my my social media requests first. There's one more here. FSLY. I always forget one. So this one is for Adonis. Adonis, I would have said, based upon yesterday's candle, with this one here, this is a compulsory buy. Okay. Yes, there's some supply in here, but we've pushed back in. That great close. We're not fussed by it. Everything's starting to turn. It's a great little sort of turnaround play. Zoom out corner of my eye. There you go. It's one we've obviously covered in the past. So it looks like we've gone plus 1/3 here. Okay. And this, I think, is a plus 1/3. So you actually, if you did it at the end of the candle, that's where I like to operate, the end of the candle. That's what you would have got in at the top of that candle, let's say. Close on the high. Or if you waited to the open of the other candle, you're probably just getting in a little bit higher. And you're probably a little bit disappointed now, aren't you, with that decision, because it came off, the rest of the market came off. It's not a buy for me. It's not an add or a buy just on the basis of that last candle, but it's certainly not a sell either. It's a very, very solid hold. What could change that? Well, there's just plenty of things would need to happen, right? Plenty of water could pass under this bridge, but certainly black candles in here, lower peaks and lower troughs would be concerning. And then, obviously beneath here by default is your close. Less than minus 1/3. But until then, happy holder. I know that last night's candle is frustrating, and unfortunately, we don't get to pick the candles, do we? We wish we could. Nicola's saying, happy Friday, Nicola. Can I look at BBW? Sure can. Oh, look at that. Well, there you go. There's the supply, isn't it? That's Build a Bear. So that's a problem. That's a problem candle. Couple of reasons. Let's go back to the weekly. That's all blue sky. So because it's blue sky the first time, it's at the $30 round number. So go 20, 30, 40, 50. You could argue there's definitely a case to go minus 1/3. This is not hindsight stuff. This is stuff I've taught you already. And then I think on the basis of that candle, this was a great announcement, whatever it was, but it wasn't viewed by the market. What was that one? What was that other one that we looked at? Oh, I've lost it now. You know, the one that gapped up with the big white candle. That announcement. Yes, it was fantastic. Gapped up, short covering, maybe popped it up on the open, but by the end of the day, people still wanted to own it. This short covering, whatever you want to call it, the selling came in. Maybe even some more short sellers came in. So yeah, I think that candle, the fact that the candle is a minus third, okay, and then the round number is a minus third. But that still means, and this is what confuses a lot of people, Carl, why wouldn't you just get out the whole lot? Well, the trends are still up. I still think you've got 1/3 remaining on this. That's the sort of risk position I'd be carrying on that one. I obviously can't buy it tonight because of the big black candle there. Let's look at BYDDY, which didn't come up for whatever reason. Let me try. That's too many letters, Adrianto. Do you mean BYD? Do you mean, I can't guess what you mean. Maybe just ping me again what that is supposed to be. MPW, Medical Properties Trust. We've got some problems here. We're starting to look half decent, but it does show, and I must admit, and you've probably seen this potentially in some of my Twitter shortlists I do on the Aussie market each day. Sometimes Carl gets a bit excited and he goes in advance of that long-term trend sort of, or a decisive break and hold above. So he goes in advance of this sort of price action, right? And you have to admit, when I do that, my strike rate is much lower. Is that fair to say? I'm not saying get them all wrong, but the strike rate is decidedly lower when I say, oh, I love everything else that's going on before that. You know, price action candles, I get a bit excited. So many more of them end up in tears. I just think that the trends here are just so decisive. This long-term trend zone, I mean, how good is it, ladies and gentlemen? I know you're starting to use it because you always, on social media, ask me, hey, Carl, how do I do it on TradingView? But you just don't want to muck around with it, do you? I mean, just you don't want to muck around with it. And when you break through it, bad things happen. I'm not saying it's perfect all the time, right? Some stocks are just too choppy and too lousy to let it work. But no, this is not one I could buy under any circumstances. I'm not saying it can't go up. Tomorrow it could be $10. Tomorrow it could be $20. I don't know. I can't see the future. All I can say is that this would get zero consideration for me on a first pass because of the short-term, long-term trend. The price action is down. The candles are predominantly black. And yeah, we could come back and this could be $10 next week, but it's not something, it wouldn't have me on it. Oh, but Carl, if you bought it now, you could make, no, I'm just not interested. It's not how I do things. The total opposite of what I want to see. Sorry if that wasn't what you wanted to hear, Trianto. KT Corp, I think this looks really good. I think this is how you play a turnaround play. So when the last one, which was MPW, starts to do this stuff, that's when you want to start to get involved because, look, we have got that short-term trend. Well, we had that on the last thing. Let's go back to MPW. So we had it in here, didn't we? We sort of had that. It was looking good in there, right? But what this one has that MPW doesn't have is the fact that it's actually pushing above the line. That's important. You can see the trend is compressing, so the short-term trend is losing its momentum. That's important. We've got a bunch of white candles in here as well. I think that's really impressive. Would I buy this one? I still think it's really early, but I think this is going to go up. It's not far away. I'd say next white candle, next little, you might even see a little bit of a pullback and hold, and that's often what I'm really waiting for on these is a trough. One little point of demand that forms above the zone. Just that one little point of demand to tell me that long-term trend zone, which we know is just amazing at telling us where that dynamic excess supply is, that dynamic resistance, right? That it is no longer acting as dynamic supply, right? But it's starting to act now as dynamic demand. So this is very good. Oh, I've absolutely no objections to you going plus 1/3 on this one, Nicola, but understand what you're getting into. It's more risky. It's riskier because it's a turnaround play. but I think that looks really good. If it had close on the high, I 100% would have gone 1/3. I'm still thinking that it's a totally spec play. Understand what you're getting yourself into, but I don't mind it. I could go 1/3 on that. If I'm going to write it in, I'm so reluctant to write stuff in today. I wonder if you've picked up on that, just how reluctant I am to take risks today. And that should be something you should be taking note of. Geez, Carl would normally write 1/3 on some of these, and he's refrained. I don't like what's happening in the broader market. Okay. Now we've got LWAY. LWAY. How are we going for time? We've got about 5 minutes left. I've done that one. POS was November 17. Is that too long ago in your view? Yeah, 2017 is ancient history, Barry. I'm not too fussed about that one. Ancient history. Look, remember we're sort of looking at, we're starting to say, well, 2020, that's too far away. 18 months, relevant. Over that, started to lose relevance. Certainly if you're going over, say, 3 years, much, much less relevant. Okay, CAMT, this one is for Haraju. And it looks very good. I've done this one in the past. I can tell because I've drawn arrows all over the white candles where I said we would have bought it. And I can draw a few more white candles on here because this one is very, very warm, isn't it? I wonder. It's got a little downtrend. Maybe not. Certainly that one there, 100%. No doubt about it. Certainly that one there. And last night's candle was actually not bad at all. Look, if you've got this one, Haraju, you know what I'm going to say. 100 million% hold. Can't see any reason to get out. Last night's candle's still fine. Would I buy it based upon last night's candle? No. I'm just hanging back just because it's a little bit indecisive, but it's almost at that point where you just buy it anyway. And it's cracked through 50. It stopped at 50. It stopped at a previous point of supply. We've obviously done this in LWAY. There you go. Like that doesn't get any better than that. So this is one of those textbook case studies. And look at this. Not that long ago, it was down in the dumps. It was down in the doldrums. And it was one of those turnaround plays we just talked about. What was it? KT Corp. Not saying this is going to happen to KT Corp, but it's how stuff turns around. And then we talked about MPW, which was down here. I'm not saying you can't, I'm not saying MPW can't go up, because that's what MPW looks like now. I'm just saying I can't buy it. I have rules and I wait for stuff. Oh, but Carl, if you had bought it at 21, you would have got in at a much better level than if you waited to, I'm going to tell you where I'm probably starting to get interested in it. What do you reckon? We'll just go through. We're going to have the arrows appearing, but that looks really good. Like that's taken out the resistance that forced it back below the line, straight down. That looks very good. Happy to go there, and we're going to get to the arrows, and then So I've paid more for it. I've 21. I'm probably not getting into say 26, 27, 28, but you've got so much more confidence to buy once it's done those things. So for Adrianto, who asked the question about MPW. I hate MPW right now. Doesn't mean I can't love it in the not too distant future if it does the right things. ETN, this one is for Max. Looks very good, Max. No complaints there. I'm guessing you've got it. We've done it. We've done this one in the past. I can see a plus 1/3 on screen here. Happy holder, no issues, no problems. Just watch this level down here. That's what I would do. I'd just say, just under there, minus 1/3 precautionary move, nothing more than that. That's all it is. Close less than minus 1/3. If you saw a big black candle through here, maybe you could be jittery and go a third before that, just on the basis that you would be forming a lower point of supply and with a giant big black candle, but only if that occurred. Otherwise, 100% hold. Would I buy it? No, I can't buy it because you've got a big point of supply. We've got a little black candle there, not ready yet. Next white candle, then I could buy it. So that's really all I'm waiting for here. So next white candle, then we could go plus 1/3 happily on that one. Okay. I'm going to pick up the pace here. I want to get everybody's questions answered before we adjourn today. We're about to adjourn. Medical props looks very good. Medical props, which one's that one? Oh, that's the one that looked very bad. Thanks, Neil. Pulling my string there. Hey, Carl, this is from Palab. What's the name of the ribbon indicator that I use? There's no name. They're just exponential moving averages. Nothing special about them at all, Palab. And you're quite right. They are 21.34. That's the short-term trend. And then 144.233. That's the long-term trend. And I just have a little bit of programming. It's very simple. Google this stuff. If you're on TradingView, Google Pine script, make moving averages change colors when they go up or down. And you're going to get a whole lot of solutions to make them do that. When they go up, I make them turn green. When they go down, I make them turn red, and then there's the amber bit. That's the only confusing bit, and so I'm going to keep that one under my hat. Let's go to Max. We've done that one. Max, we're going to do your next few here. CX, which still looks good. You can see we've done a plus 1/3 on that one in the past. Happy holder, no problems, doing all the right things. Max, under here, you're going to start to be a little bit more concerned, but not until then. You're fine on that one, I think. And Adrianto's BYD, that was the other one. BYD, which is Boyd Gaming. It's not the Build Your Dreams, is it? Oh, okay, EV maker. It's an OTC stock. I can't actually get OTC stocks on this with this data provider, Adrianto. Apologies. Look, what I might be able to do for you, because that's my goal, is to make everybody happy in these sessions. Let's go here, BYD. I'm going to go to TradingView. I'm sure that'll have it. Let's go stocks, because they have over the counter there. Beyond, I know you can't see this yet. If I find it, it must be this one here. Must be that one. It's in Hong Kong. Oh, well, there you go. Let's look at it there. I wonder if it's that one there. So let's go here. Okay. I'm pretty sure that one's, there it is. That's definitely that one. It's got your ticker code there, Adrianto, BYDDY. Was looking good. I must admit, starting to look really good through here, and then just the, what fell out of it. But there were plenty of opportunities through here. If you're disciplined enough, plenty of, the market, Adrianto, is always talking to you. Always talking to you. And on face of it, we go, well, that sounds like a good company because I read about them, or I read a media article, I heard the CEO talk about it, or there's lots of talk on social media about how good it is. But at the end of the day, none of that matters compared to what's happening in the market. And you just see so many signals through here where you want to get out of it. What I might do, I haven't done this, I should have done this. Let's log in here. I'm sure we can trade this, Nick. I'm guessing based upon what you just messaged me there. So it's, what was it, 1211? So if you want to trade BYDD, let's try BYDD. Am I going to be disappointed here? Am I going to be disappointed here? BYD, Boyd Gaming. There it is. We have it. Thank goodness for that. So you can trade this. If you've got a bullish view or you've got a bearish view, you can trade Build Your Dream, electric car maker, big challenger to Tesla potentially. You can trade it here, long or short. Maybe it is a challenger to Tesla. You could buy it. Maybe you think, no, it's a piece of junk, and you could sell it as well. But you have that ability, much like you could trade on here, NVDA, NVIDIA. There you go. Maybe you want to go long, maybe you want to go short based upon last night's candle. I don't think that's wise, but all the big ones will be in there. And the wonderful thing is here, when you trade them, they are commission free. And the other great thing is, if you don't have $472 US to put into NVIDIA, you can just trade a fractional share, just 0.1. What's that? $47. Now you can get involved in some of those really high-priced US companies as well. What a great way to finish off today's presentation. Let's head back over here and just do the official wrap-up by saying, somebody asked me about South 32. So that was David. David, make sure you hit that link there and register for Tuesday's session, where I do all of those ASX shares, technicals and fundamentals. On Thursdays, we do the macro. That is absolutely compulsory because the macro is making me nervous right now, ladies and gentlemen. If you follow me on Twitter, I've put out a few tweets this week. That's the first time since this bull market began. I've been the most bullish analyst, certainly locally, even poking fun at some of the bears. But I've started to turn very nervous at the moment. So definitely catch the Thursday macro sessions. Of course, you hear it already on the Friday ones. If you're not a client of ThinkMarkets, you should be, sort of explained there. So the great platform we have, the great products we have, and commission free. But if you want to trade Aussie shares, they're $8 flat rate for HIN and CHESS sponsorship. I've talked about the ability to trade shares with us, but you can trade FX commodities. We've got this hedge position on the NASDAQ, which we took a little bit off yesterday, didn't we? And remember at the start of it, I added to it. I should have just left it that way. But it does demonstrate the value in my one-third system, because if you panicked on the NASDAQ and removed your hedge because you had those 3 out of 4 white candles, last night you would have been devastated to see it go down. But by just heeding the signs, the risks, and only doing that third, that hedge position is starting to work for you again. And again, CFD is such a powerful tool to help us manage our risk in the market that gives the ability to go short. www.thinkmarkets.com/au. Because we have the best platforms, we keep winning awards for them, and we've got the best customer service. If you're watching me on any of the streaming services, make sure you hit the subscribe button. You'll be able to then get notifications when I go live a few times a week, and certainly getting updates to catch those videos on demand. If you like what you saw today, hit the thumbs up button. Let me know you like what I'm doing so I continue to do more of it. Apart from that, it has been a pleasure chatting with you today and all week. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Hopefully you got lots out of it. All the best if you're trading and investing. Till we catch up again. Bye-bye for now. Before you run away, don't forget that everything we've talked about today is general advice. It has not taken into account your personal financial circumstances or particular needs. So before acting upon this general advice, you should consider it carefully or seek the help of a financial professional. The rest of the information in that disclaimer is important. You should press pause now and read it very carefully. If you have any other questions about ThinkMarkets services and products, head to the website, download our product disclosure statement or our financial services guide. Bye-bye.